Okay, how is everyone doing? It is the third day of May in the new year 2013, and it's been a week since last Sunday. Sunday, Thursday, Thursday, and then Sunday, and then Tuesday of this week really kapowed a lot of us. All that was happening, as I noted on the blog, was that the universe, the gods, the goddesses, the saints, the angels, the virgins above were telling you that your goals are in order. Just a bit of readjustment to still let go of what you no longer needed to take place. And hopefully you've been thinking about that and throwing it off your shoulders. Now, the purpose of this recording is a friendly little message about Sagittarius. Don't press that button, even if you're not a Sag sun sign. Those of you who have worked with me know that I usually speak in terms of someone who has a strong Sag. But each and every one of us has Sagittarius ruling some particular area of our chart. Perhaps your area of money and values, perhaps your area of communication, maybe your areas where you find freedom, perhaps your area of spirituality and selfless service to mankind, maybe health and daily work. Maybe you have a Sagittarian sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant, or what's also known as a rising sign. That's the same as the ascendant. But each and every one has a Sag somewhere. Some of us may have a pileup of planets in Sagittarius. That would make you a strong Sag. So this message is for everybody, but in particular for Sag sun, moon, and ascendant people, because a few months ago, a friend, a Virgo moon on a coffee break, who's very dear to my heart, from my hometown, said, "Hey, what about something for Sagittarius?" Well, she's right. What about something for Sagittarius? Because I have been talking about other signs being very prominent in the astrological atmosphere, which they have been. And you know what? In a way, Sagittarius can feel a little forgotten. Here's why. Again, each one of us has some Sagittarius in our chart, so stay tuned. Those of you who have been with me for a while and who did attend my workshops about 5 years ago, what were they, 3, 4, 5 years ago, the workshops, my workshops were named Navigating the New Economy in the Age of Aquarius. Well, economy and finances are important to me because I'm a Capricorn, because I worked in the stock market most of my life, and I grew up in business and run my own businesses all my life. So it's that which makes the world go round other than love. I was getting down to the practical, and that's exactly what the message is here today. Rolling up your sleeves, working hard, and getting down to the practical is the way it's going to be from here on in. No one says it has to be hard, but it sure as heck is going to take some effort, particularly for people who have strong Sagittarius in their chart. Now, about 5 years ago, the planet Pluto, and I'm not going to lose you here, you all make this simple. The planet Pluto, it's the planet of transformation. It's the planet aligned with atomic power. Pluto was discovered at the same time as the atomic bomb. So wherever Pluto is in your chart, and Pluto is in everybody's chart, trust me, wherever Pluto is in your chart is where you only need to put out a small amount of effort and transformative effects occur for the good. Shall we not pay attention to the messages that come from the heavens above repeatedly over a long period of time? Then Pluto will step in and transform things for us. And we all have heard stories of this nature. Pluto was in the sign of Sagittarius for about 12, 13 years. So, I'm not ragging on Sagittarius or Sagittarians, not at all. Actually, most of my clients are the bulk of my clients, a large number of my clients are Sagittarians, because I too have a great deal of Sagittarius in my chart. So we understand each other very well. When Pluto left the sign of Sagittarius 12, 13 years ago, that exact day was the day that President Obama was voted into office. Around that time, we started with the financial crisis in America. Astrologically, we knew all of this was going to happen. Well, any well-schooled astrologer worth their salt knew it was going to happen. I have the added aspect of good psychic insight. At that point, things changed. For each of us, wherever Sagittarius rules in our chart, and particularly for people with strong Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is expansion, expansion of ego, expansion of mind, expansion of where you're running off to physically or in your mind. It's the planet of luck. It is the planet that represents higher learning, foreign people, foreign culture, foreign places. What has been in the news, of course, is the movement from the old way to the new way of what they're fighting for, the new way in various parts of the world due to economic crisis. When Pluto left the sign of Sagittarius 5 years ago, it went into the sign of Capricorn. So Sagittarians and strong Sagittarians felt lost, and rightfully so, because that quotient of luck was no longer there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Sagittarians guided and gilded and, were on a lily pad floating down the Nile River full of luck and blessings. No, they still worked for what they had, but it came easier to them than anyone else. Case in point, think of America. Advertising. Things came easy. Show an ad on TV about Pepsi and someone dancing around and bingo. Everybody wants to drink Pepsi. I'm not saying not so much now, but not so much now. It was easy to attract what you wanted with higher-minded thinking. That type of higher-minded thinking, of going for the masses and going large. Since Pluto changed signs about 5 years ago when President Obama came into office, it was roll up your sleeves and get to work time for each one of us. And you all know a story of someone else who lost their job, someone else who was laid off. You know how difficult it is in America for the masses to hang on to what they have. And it's not going to get any easier for about another 12 years, give or take, for America, and yes, for Europe as well. But for America to even start to come up to the top of the barrel again, that's going to take about another 12, 13 years, astrologically speaking. That's okay. They can handle it. They support each other and they have a lot of faith. Does that mean the same for Canada? Could be. You tell me. So Sagittarians have had a bit of a hard time in the last year worrying about money. The last 3 years in particular, because push has come to shove. Either by their own hands or by the hands of someone that they're associated with. There is a concern about money. But yet they just couldn't pull themselves out of that rut. Or the other person involved with them just couldn't pull themselves out of their rut, get their stuff straight. And things have come to a head. And now things have really come to a head with other astrological influences. So, what do? Well, Pluto is in Capricorn. Capricorn is money, finance, government. Roll up your sleeves and work diligently, continually sizing up your efforts, continually going back to the drawing board, not drawing one breath in the meantime, of relief until it's all over. Now that doesn't mean it should be boring and humdrum. It can still be fun, but it's a heck of a lot more work than it was before, and results will not be as fast. Case in point, I remember talking to one very dear friend and client who said to me that now she had to pull out graphs and kind of explain things to clients. Another very dear friend and client who is in the sales industry said that it just isn't so easy to sell the old line anymore. Case in point, the old ways don't work anymore because Pluto's not in Sagittarius. It is the new way of thinking ahead of the crowd, because of course we are in the age of Aquarius, but at the same time rolling up your sleeves and continually working without necessarily seeing any results right away. Need to give it some time. Yes, more time. The energies are upon us now, but Sagittarians have been finding it quite difficult, and so have we all. With respect to relationships, money, career, where am I going to live? When am I going to live there? When am I going to retire? Retirement's out of the question, and how am I going to pull this all together and keep everyone happy? Because of course, Sagittarius always looks on the bright side. Wherever we have Sagittarius in our chart, we are the master of conjuring up happiness. Sagittarians themselves are like that as well. Where you are going to find happiness, of course, is where you can find the strength to hold discipline and practice that discipline at whatever it is you're good at. Have patience and it will come. And yes, it takes time. I'd like to say it'll probably take about 38 years, but most of us listening to this do not have that 38 years to wait. So I don't think it will take that long. I cannot say how long it will take everybody, because each of us is on our own path. I have to say that the more that we put our energies, heads, and hearts together to work together, that is the shining, crowning glory of being sure of success. The age of Aquarius demands that we all work together for the betterment of mankind. I am not saying that Sagittarians don't do that, but glory be, excuse me, everybody, I still love you, but Sagittarians do tend to know a lot. I'm not saying they think they know it all, but they do tend to know a lot and espouse a great deal of wisdom. That's an excess, again, excess, which is representative of the planet Jupiter, their ruling planet. No more excesses, restraints. Nobody knows it all anymore. The people collectively know it all. As many of you have heard me said years ago, the age of the guru is going to be over soon, and we've now come to that time. We are all helping each other on the path in an equal manner. Sagittarians do need to, pardon me, get real and know that they actually have to work at something, and so do the rest of us. Capricorns are going to have it quite a bit easier because they are used to working and not getting results, honey. And now Capricorns are going to start to see results, but that doesn't mean they're working any less. They sure as heck are saying that they're working kind of hard right now. I'm a Capricorn, and boy, I've never said that as much as I've said it and often as I said it in the last year. Because it does take a great deal of strength. Pool your resources together. Depend on the people that you can depend on. Weed out the relationships, attitudes, activities, and addictions that no longer serve you. And that, my friends, is the key to surviving this tumultuous time, as Pluto has just moved into Capricorn about 5 years ago, and that's still young. And that's just part one. Interested in how that's affecting you, interested in how you can turn it around in your specific chart, you know where to find me. Thank you for listening. Ciao, ciao.